feeling drained before the week even begins? You're not alone. As an autistic woman, I faced the same Sunday evening dread, those horrible Sunday scaries. My to-do list felt like a mountain I could never climb, but I discovered a way to transform my Sundays and ultimately my entire week. Introducing Alignment Sundays, a live community journey guiding you out of exhaustion and into aligned energy. Each Sunday session begins with a guided meditation to align with your higher self first. Access these meditations anytime in our online portal throughout your week so that you stay aligned. I'll personally take you through the energy appraisal guide in the session to help you navigate your week with clarity. Imagine ending your week with energy to spare. Join me and let's turn Sunday afternoons into a time of calm clarity for the week ahead. Learn more at the link in the show notes below and get started this Sunday. Have you ever felt like you're not really living your life? Like you're just going through the motions, trying to feel safe and fit into a world that doesn't quite get you? If you're an autistic woman, or if you support an autistic woman, you've probably experienced something similar. You know, the whole masking thing. It's that invisible struggle we face where we hide our true selves just to get through the day. But what if I told you there's a way to start reconnecting with the real you? Today kicks off a new format for Beyond Chronic Burnout, where I'll be sitting down with you each week one-on-one. Just me and you, my friend, over a cup of something yummy. And I share everything I know and all my experiences with autistic burnout and how to get out of it for good. Those really great heart-to-heart conversations I have with guests will still be shared along the way, so don't fret. In today's episode, we're diving into how we lose ourselves and, most importantly, how we can find our way back to our authentic selves. Stick around. This is an episode you won't want to miss.
Step out of the shadows, feel the power rise, catch the spark inside you, let your spirit fly. Beyond the chronic burnout, Carole Jean's your guide. Find your steady rhythm, nice joy on the tide. Flourish forward, bright and bold. Leave the burnout far behind. In this journey, hearts unfold. Power's yours, seek and find.
I want to share something personal with you. A few years ago, I was completely burnt out, like shut down, can't function, don't even recognize myself burnt out. Ghost pepper level 5. I had received my autistic identification 2 years earlier, but was so focused on making sure my child, who had been identified around the same time, didn't suffer like I had, that I just ignored me until one day I looked in the mirror and I literally didn't know who was staring back at me. All I saw were the masks I'd been wearing for years. I'd been blending in so well, I had lost sight of who I truly was. I didn't even know who I was anymore, or if I ever knew. And asking myself that question, who am I? That was terrifying and felt like the ground had vanished beneath my feet, and I was in a faster free fall than I'd ever experienced. But it was also the first step towards something powerful. The truth? I had to learn how to connect with myself for the very first time as a 42-year-old woman, not as a daughter, not as a wife or a mom, but as me, Carole Jean. You're probably familiar with this feeling. We as autistic women often get caught up in the act of masking, trying to fit into a neurotypical world, hiding parts of ourselves just to avoid judgment, especially to avoid rejection, because of how that rejection felt. It was awful. When the world told us we were weird, doing it wrong, we're being overly dramatic, or just attention seeking, when we were just sharing our experiences or how we moved through the world. But here's the thing. Camouflaging costs us. That's what I call the professional level of masking, where we are so adept at disappearing that no one sees us, not even us. It leads to burnout, confusion about who we are, and ultimately a lack of self-trust. Today, we're starting to plant the seeds of self-discovery. We're beginning the journey of developing an intimate relationship with ourselves, and that's where the real magic and energy happens. Let's take a moment to prepare the soil for our self-discovery. This is a short guided meditation. If you're driving, come back to this later, but just listen for now. I don't want you to get distracted and have an accident. Please don't do that. If you are in a space where it is safe and appropriate, either sit or lie down comfortably. Get cozy. I invite you to either close your eyes if that feels good, or you can simply soften or lower your gaze. Take a comfortable, deep breath in, either through your nose or mouth. And then release it slowly. Allow your shoulders to relax and lower. Unclench your jaw. Soften your tongue. Continue to take full breaths in and out. Feel your abdomen rise and fall. As you breathe, bring your awareness to your body. Notice where you're holding tension. Is there a place that feels tight or tense? Perhaps sore? What's drawing your attention? Wiggle your toes. Move your ankles just gently. Move your knees just for a moment, just a bit. Shift your hips. Move your fingers or your elbows gently, just noticing them. As you move from area to area, simply breathe as you pause your attention there. Nothing to change or do, just notice and breathe. Continue moving up your body. Notice your shoulders, neck, the inside of your mouth and tongue. Press your tongue to the roof of your mouth, then release it. Feel your breath move as this action opens the back of your throat just a bit more. Notice your jaw, open and close it, if that feels good for you. Soften your eyes and brows just a little more. Notice the top of your head. Now move your attention to the back of your head. Slowly expand your awareness to the air around your head. Now move that further to the air around your entire body. Notice the temperature. If there's a movement or sensation of the air around you. Sense or feel the support beneath you, connecting with the earth, with your body. Just observe. There's no need to judge or to change anything. Feel your hands and feet. Just allow your attention to notice the movement of your chest and abdomen as you simply breathe in and out gently. Let's stay here for a few breaths together. In and out. In and out. Release all the air. Last time. In. Nice full breath. Feel your rib cage expand all the way around. And out. Releasing, softening as the rest of your breath exhales gently. Return to your natural, steady breath. When you're ready, gently begin to wiggle your toes or fingers and either open your eyes or bring your gaze back into focus. Take a big stretch if that feels good as you come back to the present moment. Welcome back and hello, my friend. That felt so good, doesn't it? Now that our soil is prepared, it's time to plant the seed. Before I share this exercise with you, I want to share my own experience from a place of being of best service to you and your journey today. When a mentor several years ago shared this exercise with me, I had a full-on body reaction of fear and discomfort. So if this feels similar when I share it, know that you are not alone and that for every autistic woman I've worked with, this is just the normal response for us. And it's okay to feel that way if that's what you feel. Take this at whatever pace and way it feels most approachable for you. Believe me, I went about this in all sorts of ways and I still experienced the benefits. There is no right or wrong way for this exercise, I have discovered. This exercise is the very first one I teach in the unveiling method in phase 2, the self-care plan from the inside out, and it's called reflection work. So let me start us off by sharing the practice in its original form, and then I will share some variations to make this doable and more easeful for where you might be right now. I took the original mirror exercise and adapted it along with layering and harnessing elements that are of service to the autistic brain and body. So here we go. The original practice is this. Stand in front of the largest mirror you have and look at yourself right in the eyes and say, I love you. You can even say, I love you and insert your name. Repeat this phrase 10 times, 3 times a day for 30 days. Okay. So if you just cringed and thought, heck no, Carole Jean, you've lost your mind. I am not doing that. So did I, and I've got you. So here we go. I was so desperate to feel better that I threw myself into this original practice, and my body and brain were revolting and screaming in terror. The first day, I forced myself through the process. Oh yeah, so typical of me, right? I felt nothing good, only repulsion. The next morning, I started again after I brushed my teeth, but this time I refused to look in the big mirror. So I grabbed the tiny mirror from my purse, that teeny tiny little round one that we all have, and I held it out to the side of my body, like almost arm's length, where I could just see the edge of my eye. That was it. I didn't say I love you this time. Instead, I simply said, I'm going to hold 10 seconds of space for you, and that's it. It still felt awful. And I was also feeling disappointed because I was told that this exercise would help me love myself. I wasn't holding to the outcome that I would ever love myself, but I at least wanted to feel kinder towards myself. At lunchtime, I stepped into my bathroom wanting to try again. And in the big mirror, I began to say, Carole Jean, I love you. And about 3 or 4 times, I just got disgusted. I threw up my hands and just looked at my reflection, and this is what I said. That's a big fat lie. I don't love you. I don't even like you. I can barely stand to be you or tolerate you. That moment of honesty, allowed to my reflection, created a pause where I realized that what I really wanted was to physically feel that warm, tingly love feel that I had whenever I thought about or looked at my husband Josh or my 2 boys. Just so happens, Josh was working from home that day and his desk was on the other side of the bathroom mirror. So I leaned around the doorframe and I just looked at him and I thought, oh, I love you, my precious darling. And I immediately, I'm feeling it now, felt that feeling I wanted to experience in my body about me. I was feeling that warm, tingly love, that softness and fullness in my chest. I thought quickly, this is what I want to feel about me. I wonder if I can hold this feeling in my body and look in the mirror while I say something nice to myself. I popped back into the bathroom quick as I could, and I looked at my reflection with this feeling in my body. And I said, Carole Jean, this is what I want to feel for you. I breathed into that feeling. I felt it in my body as I continued to look at my reflection. I placed my hand on my heart and I said aloud again with more emotion, Carole Jean, I want to love you like this. And I just allowed those feelings of warmth, gentleness, and love to wash through me even more. I still wasn't totally believing the words, but I allowed myself to just feel those physical feelings and hear my words of what my heart wanted in a relationship with me for the first time. The next day was day 3 of this mirror exercise, and I felt more relaxed when I said that I loved myself that morning. Looking at my reflection didn't feel like a sharp pain in my eyes or this visceral repulsion in my body this time. As I said the phrase 10 times, it felt repetitive and forced, but I was still willing to trust in the process because I trusted the person teaching me this exercise. I went about my day. I didn't do it at lunchtime, but that evening after my bath, I was on my freshly shaved legs, and for the first time in my life, I looked at my legs and honestly thought, my legs are so beautiful. I was truly seeing them for the first time. And I didn't just think it. I noticed that when I had that thought, I smiled and I felt that physical love feeling welling up inside my body. I had always been hypercritical of my body and never thought I was beautiful in any way. But in that moment, something changed. I changed. The ripple effects from this practice have been far reaching and life giving for me and for so many of the women in the unveiling method. I adore hearing how this exercise that starts off like sandpaper on a cut becomes this powerful, compassionate, and loving experiences that change everything. In the unveiling method, I go into the use of mirror neurons and more sciencey stuff, but for today, just know that you can give yourself permission to get compassionately curious about you and try it out in any way that feels approachable. Hey, you can even take a page from my book and try it out that way. Remember, don't rush this mirror practice, this reflection work. This is the first step in taking those layers of masks off. Now, let's water and nourish the seed we just planted. Grab a journal or just find a quiet moment to reflect. Ask yourself these questions. What parts of me have I hidden or buried? And what does an intimate relationship with myself actually mean to me? Reflect, jot it down, and just let those thoughts come naturally. If you are part of the Spicy Pepper list, on Monday, when I shared this week's article, The Silent Mask, Understanding Camouflaging and Identity Loss in Autistic Women, in that email, you also received the link to a subscriber bonus, Guided Journaling for Unmasking. That guide is a great resource to pair with this exercise, so be sure to grab it from your inbox. Oh, and did you see your early access to the new masking styles quiz? Be sure to check it out. I can't wait to hear what your masking style is. Are you an observer, a performer, a script reader, or perhaps you're an integrator or a chameleon? So be sure to hit reply and share with me. If you aren't part of the Spicy Pepper list yet and would love to have these great bonus resources and early access to products sent directly to you, sign up on our website at whittingtonwellbeing.com and join our community. We'd love to have you, my friend. Remember, masking is a part of the journey, but it doesn't have to define you. The process of reclaiming your authentic self is not only possible, it's your birthright. You are worthy of knowing who you truly are. I'd love for you to share your experiences with us, to connect with this beautiful community. You're not alone in this. So I have a quick question. Do you often feel like you're running on empty, even after a full night's sleep? Or like you're constantly trying to keep up, but always falling behind? If this resonates with you, join me next Wednesday for my episode on Beyond the Mask, Recognizing the Signs of Autistic Burnout in Women. Until next week, take good care of yourself, my darling friend, and remember, you are already worthy just as you are. Nothing added to you or taken away will change that. Shine your light and don't dim it for the comfort of others. You were born sparkly, you beautiful light. Have you ever felt the challenge of guiding your team through uncertain times? You're not alone. Imagine transforming your leadership style with grateful leadership. In this upcoming workshop, you will engage in a 3-hour workshop designed for leaders like you. Dive into interactive sessions with case studies and role playing. Discover the power of acknowledgement to create a culture of appreciation, and learn to coach your team for breakthrough results. This workshop was created for leaders seeking to enhance their communication and interpersonal skills. Are you ready to lead authentically and inspire your team during times of uncertainty? Find out more at the link in the show notes below, and be sure to use our special discount code to save 50% just for listeners of Beyond Chronic Burnout.
Thanks for being here. It's been quite a ride. Energy mastery, let's turn the tide. Top shelf guests, dropping wisdom bombs. Join us next week, where the energy's strong. Beyond Chronic.